Let's compare the two GUI-based Linux live streaming softwares, Simplescreenrecorder and Screen Studio. What is up, YouTube? It's Ubu, the tech guru, coming straight at you. How is everybody doing today? I'm doing fantiddlyastic. And for this week's Tech Tuesdays with Ubu, we're going to compare the only two graphical user interface streaming software that exists for Linux. And they are Simplescreenrecorder and Screen Studio. Now, one is, I'm not really I guess I'm not in the terms of what it's based on or how it's built. Simplescreenrecorder I compiled from source code, although the developer does provide packages from a PPA. I just like compiling from source because I get the latest code, the latest, software. Whereas the PPA might be behind just a tiny bit on some of the things. The PPA is basically prepackaged version of whenever he chose to compile it and upload it to his PPA. Whereas compiling it yourself, I actually have a blog. I don't know if you were aware of that. It's ubuntuaddicted.blogspot.com, and I have a whole instruction post on how to compile SSR from Git. And there should be a link on the screen right now, or an image that you can click on to take you to go see how to compile and install Simplescreenrecorder. Otherwise, you can just use his PPA. But as I was trying to say, I don't really know what if it's C++ or what type of code it is. But that's that. And then Screen Studio is actually Java based. So it's a little bit easier. You just simply download the .jar file and, right click on the jar and say, open with, I'm trying to find it here. I just right click on it and say open with OpenJDK Java 7 runtime, and, boom, it's running. So today's video is going to be comparing both of those pieces of software. Us Linux users, we don't have very many options for live streaming our gameplay to the net, whether it's to Ustream, to YouTube, to Twitch, to Hitbox. So I thought I would compare both of these pieces of software to see, which one is going to be best for your, situation. First, looking at Simplescreenrecorder, it has, a nice GUI where it's click-through progression. So you hit continue, and it brings you to the first screen, which is setting up your, what you're going to capture. So you can actually create profiles of what you're going to, record. If you want to record you can name the profiles whatever you want. So basically, you would set up everything for your video input. Say you wanted to record your main monitor, which mine is 1920 by 1080. And, so that's recording the entire screen. Or you can actually record a fixed rectangle, which is one of the bonuses for SSR, where Screen Studio does not have this capability. You can actually select a rectangle by just choosing, or you can actually click on it and choose a window and click the window of what it's going to record. So if you click here, you can see right around this little box, there's a box showing what it's going to record. The other nice thing that I found about SSR that doesn't have in Screen Studio is when you want to record a screen, see how in the upper left corner how it has screen 2? It tells you which screen you're going to be recording. So on my other monitor, it has a little screen 1 in the upper left corner. This one has screen 2 in the upper left corner. I don't know, hopefully the recording software is picking this up. I am using Simplescreenrecorder to record this, just because I'm more familiar with it. But, and then also, this is another thing that Screen Studio does not have, is the Record OpenGL. It's experimental. This is basically game capture. So all these other options are for recording the screen. It's just doing a screen grab. It's not actually taking the game frame information from the game and capturing that's called game capture. This is just simply recording what's on the screen. So it does have this, and there's options for the OpenGL recording. It's a little more complex. It uses like an injection of code to intercept the packets, and some games actually consider it cheating or hacking. So it's good to read over all of his notes that he has in here regarding OpenGL recording and whatnot. And like I said, it's a little more complex to get that going, but at least it does have the capability in there for doing game capture, whereas Screen Studio only has screen capture. So we'll just put this back to recording my second screen, and here you can choose what frame rate you'd like to stream at. You can actually even scale the video. So if I just wanted to stream or encode a 1280 by 720, I could do that. You can choose whether it records the cursor or not, and you can choose whether it records audio or not. And using Pulse Audio, I've set up a script that would allow me to capture the game audio as well as my microphone audio. And so right now I can either record the internal audio, which would be the game, or the microphone, which is my webcam. So it's either or, but if I run a script that I've set up, shaudio.sh, it'll run a script, and it creates some loopbacks. And so now, see, I have another option. It'll record monitor plus game, which would allow me to record the game audio and the microphone audio. But we'll just leave that as microphone. So once you've set up what you're going to actually be recording, and you've set all your options here, then you would hit continue. Now, this next page is, what do you want to do with all that information you just chose? So, I've set up different profiles so I have live streaming profiles. He has some built-in profiles as well. Live streaming, high quality, intermediate, capturing for YouTube, and so on and so forth. I've set up a custom profile that does local recording into an MP4 container with the codec H.264 with a constant rate factor of 17. The preset is medium. You can allow frame skipping, and it explains to you on what that really is. You can choose your audio codec, whether it's AAC or MP3, so on and so forth. And it's nice about telling you whether you're going to choose something that's not compatible. So that's the one thing about SSR. It's much more configurable than Screen Studio is. So once I have all that set up and done, I just want to change the name of this. So here, if I was going to be doing a live stream, I would choose, a live streaming option, and then you have to enter in the RTMP link to what site you want to stream to. So I will say that's another great thing about SSR. It allows you to stream to Hitbox. Whereas when we get into Screen Studio, it only has, you can only stream to YouTube, Twitch.tv, and Ustream. You can't choose any other site. So that is the nice thing about Simplescreenrecorder. It allows me to stream to Hitbox, which is where I choose to live stream to. So once you've done all that and everything, you would hit continue. And here you have, can set up hotkeys for what starts and stops the recording. You can even set up, you can start the preview, which will show you what you're recording. And then once you hit save recording, this information over here on the left will start spitting out. Well, actually, let's just go ahead and choose, we'll do like a local recording. Choose YouTube. We'll browse, we'll save it in Ubu Videos Test. So we're going to save container, MKV, Vorbis Audio, hit continue, and we'll just say start recording. And you'll be able to see the frames per second in and the frames per second out, what size you're capturing, which is 1920 by 1080, and the size out, because you chose to scale it to only send out a 1280 by 720 stream. and then it has the file name, it has your file size, and the bit rate at which it's streaming at. And you can see, you can stop the preview if you want, and it'll still be streaming, because previewing your stream, requires a lot of extra CPU. So I would strongly suggest that if you are live streaming, you don't enable preview, or if you do, you just turn it on just for a second to make sure that, you can see, oh, yeah, I am streaming video, like, why isn't this working? So on and so forth. And once you're done live streaming, so this is one of the, I don't know if I wanted to compare these two options to anything that's available in Windows, just because Windows is so far advanced as far as the amount of people doing stuff. You have Wirecast, you have XSplit, you have OBS, which is Open Broadcast Studio. You have so many options for live streaming in Windows. I don't think it'd be fair to compare these to them. But what I was going to say is, one of the downsides to Simplescreenrecorder and Screen Studio is that it doesn't have the ability to change the scene, or to like adjust the scene. Like, say right now I wanted to change the size of my webcam, I would actually have to, I could do that by right-clicking up here and say resize. I could change the size of my webcam, but say I wanted to change the scene to a thumbnail that said I would be right back. Well, right now in Linux, the only way to do it is, to fumble around and look in my, file manager and try to find the file that was my be right back image, and so on and so forth. So it doesn't have that capability to easily switch scenes for us Linux live streamers. So that pretty much covers Simplescreenrecorder. I would just hit pause recording and my live stream would be done now. And if I was doing a local recording, I would hit save recording, and then it saved the file, it finished up the file, and now you can, put that into Kdenlive or OpenShot or whatever editing software you used to upload that to YouTube. So that's Simplescreenrecorder, in a nutshell. I pointed out the things that I like about it and the things that I think are downsides to it. Now let's look at Screen Studio. So Screen Studio, as I said, it's Java-based, and both of these have active development occurring to them, so that's a great thing. But here you can either choose to record to FLV file, or record to MP4, or record to YUV plus WAV. So let's just, since we're talking about live streaming, we'll leave it at record to FLV. And then here you would set, well, this is actually for local recording. This first tab is for local recording. The second tab is for streaming. So say I want to stream to Twitch, I would choose Twitch, and then I would choose my server. So this is kind of an advantage for Screen Studio over SSR. SSR doesn't have these pre-configurations built in for choosing a server and so on and so forth. But here, Screen Studio has made it, really, they've dumbed it down so that you don't have as many configurable options, and I think that was done on purpose, because streaming in Linux is complex. There's a lot to it, and Simplescreenrecorder allows you for tons more configurable options, which is nice for people that know what they're doing. But for people that aren't really savvy on what's going on in the background and whatnot, Screen Studio, I think, has the advantage there, because I just want to stream a 1080p stream right here at 3000 kilobits, and then I enter in my stream key here, enter in what the stream key is, and then you go over to this tab and you can set an overlay. So this is an advantage that Screen Studio has over Simplescreenrecorder. Screen Studio has overlay support, which is really nice. So I could have a little overlay that shows the title of my stream. For this instance, it's just Ubu the Tech Guru, and then a subtitle below that. So this is, an image. You can also choose an overlay image. I don't know if you guys have ever seen my live streams, but they have like I put like information about my YouTube channel on there, and my Twitter, and my PC specs, and and in the upper right I have a a webcam picture of myself. And so an overlay image, could add cool little graphics everywhere throughout the screen on the live stream. And so this is another advantage that Screen Studio has. You can webcam. It has webcam support. So I could choose to put the webcam in the top left corner, and choose to put the image layout, either in the bottom or the top. So this is a huge thing that Screen Studio has that SSR doesn't. In SSR, if I want to stream my webcam, I actually have to do what I'm doing now, is have my GUVC view open and just sitting there, always on top. So that's the disadvantage of SSR. So in order for this window to always be on top, I have to play the game in windowed mode, not full screen mode. And so since it has to be windowed mode, I have to choose a resolution smaller than 1920 by 1080. And, it gets into all of that. So this is huge that Screen Studio has the ability for a webcam overlay. I love that. That's awesome. Maybe one day Simplescreenrecorder will have the ability to put in an overlay and to put in a webcam. Maybe these two can talk, and contribute code to each other or whatever, and help each other's software become that much better. That would be awesome. And then you go to sources for Screen Studio, and this is where you tell it what it's going to stream or what it's going to record. So either screen 1 or screen 0, because I have dual monitors, and then what your frames per second is, and then your webcam, what webcam you want to use, what size it should be, and you can even add in support for a delay. And then you have your audio inputs for, it's recording my microphone here, and it's monitoring the built-in analog audio, which would be the game. So Screen Studio, has pretty much everything that SSR has and more, but it doesn't have the ability to capture only a certain area on your screen. It doesn't have the ability to capture just, one window. It's full screen or nothing for Screen Studio. It also doesn't have the capability to record into an MKV file, or other audio codec that you want to choose. It pretty much, it's not as configurable as SSR. But Screen Studio, just from, I've attempted to live stream to YouTube and to Twitch, and it worked flawlessly both times. So, great piece of software. So I know this video is getting kind of long. I just wanted to show, I know that the Screen Studio is in really active development. This is version 1.1.2. He's currently working on it's either 1.2 or 1.1.2, I forget, but he's currently working on it. That's going to add in some capabilities to show, like logging down here. You can double click right here and it'll all of a sudden pop up a window and show you the log of the live stream, to see if you're dropping any packets or whatnot, or dropping any frames. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video of comparing Screen Studio to Simplescreenrecorder. They're both great pieces of software, and they have their weaknesses and their strengths, and I would say choose whichever one works best for you and your situation. So hit that subscribe button if you're new to my channel. I try to do a Tech Tuesdays with Ubu, when I can. Every Tuesday I try. Some Tuesdays I don't get to it, but I also do a lot of gaming and stuff. This is a gaming channel as well, and like comedic vlogs and stuff. And leave me a rating. Let me know what you thought of the video. Let me know down below in the comments if you use Screen Studio, or do you use Simplescreenrecorder, or do you just simply use Windows? Because most of your games are in Windows, and you just use like OBS or Wirecast or XSplit. So leave me that down below in the comments. And that's about all I got for today, guys. So until next time, I'll smell you when I smell you. Ubu out!